Jaws and claws. In the steaming wetlands of South America, a shadow moves. A killer strong enough to drag crocodiles from the water. Silent, relentless, unseen. This is the jaguar, the most powerful cat on earth, pound for pound. A solitary assassin whose hunt is about to begin. The Pantanal in Brazil is the world's largest tropical wetland. An endless kingdom of rivers, swamps, and forests teeming with life. But for many animals here, every rustle in the reeds carries the same message. Death may be watching. That death has spots. The jaguar, the third largest cat in the world behind lions and tigers, but the strongest of them all. Kilo for kilo, no predator hits harder, bites deeper, or kills faster. Unlike lions, it needs no pride. Unlike tigers, it needs no territory war. The jaguar rules by stealth, by patience, by raw power. It is a king who wears no crown, but its throne is carved in fear. At first, you don't see him. The jaguar blends into the mottled shadows of the undergrowth. Every step calculated, every breath controlled. Unlike the cheetah, it cannot rely on speed. Unlike the wolf, it has no pack. The jaguar must get close, within striking distance, before its prey even knows it is there. Ahead, a herd of pecaries wallow in the mud. The jaguar's padded paws make no sound as he creeps forward. Closer, closer still. One final step and screeches erupt from the canopy. Monkeys have spotted him. Alarm calls echo through the trees. The herd scatters. The hunt is over. For now. Because if there's one thing the jaguar understands, it is patience. The jaguar's empire stretches more than 100 square kilometers, a patchwork of flooded forest, riverbanks, and open sandbars. Day after day he patrols. Every scent, every track, every shadow is a clue. Tapirs, capybaras, deer, turtles, fish, nothing is safe. 8 animals will meet their fate in this video. Some will live and some will feed the jaguar this day. Stay tuned to find out who survives. Most predators specialize. Cheetahs take gazelles, polar bears take seals, but the jaguar, it takes whatever it wants. Fish, monkeys, turtles, cattle, caimans. This is a cat that writes its menu in blood. The air is heavy, the forest is still. By the riverbank, a herd of capybaras, the world's largest rodents, each the size of a sheep, graze and wallow in the mud. They are nervous, always nervous. Their only defense is to run, to dive, to disappear beneath the surface. But they're being watched. The jaguar crouches low, dappled coat dissolving into the reeds. Minutes crawl by. The rodents shuffle closer to the water's edge. Then, sudden violence. A golden blur explodes from the shadows. Water erupts. Teeth sink deep into fur and bone. A capybara screams once, then silence. Dragged into cover, a life ended in seconds. For the herd, panic. For the hunter, triumph. This is the jaguar's gift, ambush perfected. But not all prey is so easily taken. The tapir, largest land mammal in South America, is 3 times heavier than the jaguar, a lumbering giant but powerful and wary. From the shadows, the jaguar waits. The pair browse near the river, but the tapir is cautious, nostrils flaring. It senses something. The cat creeps closer. The gap closes. One more step and the tapir splash into the water. Gone. Failure again, but the jaguar does not despair. Every failed strike is a lesson. Every near miss is fuel for the next attack. The Pantanal is crawling with Caiman, relatives of crocodiles armed with bone-crushing jaws. For most predators, they are untouchable, but not for the jaguar. He slips into the water, eyes locked on a basking reptile. Step by step, silent as death. One wrong move and those jaws will snap shut. And then, the strike. The jaguar explodes upward, jaws clamping onto the caiman's skull. The reptile thrashes violently, water churning into chaos. Most big cats kill with a throat bite, suffocating their prey. But not the jaguar. Its bite force is the strongest of any big cat on earth. It drives its fangs straight through bone, puncturing the brain itself. Seconds stretch into eternity. Then, stillness. The jaguar hauls its lifeless foe to the bank. The crocodile killer has claimed another victim. But jaguars do not always chase giants. Sometimes even the small are worth the risk. A lone coati rustles through the leaves, snout sniffing, eyes alert. Above, a band of monkeys rain down alarm calls. But the coati's too far from its clan, too distracted. In an instant, the jaguar pounces. A brief struggle, a muffled cry, then silence. Another meal. For the jaguar, size doesn't matter. Opportunity does. But sometimes the forest itself conspires against him. As the jaguar stalks a herd of deer, a flock of caracara birds swoop overhead. They screech, circle, and point their beaks downward, a warning flare for every animal nearby. The deer scatter, the hunt collapses, the jaguar snarls in frustration. He rules this land, yet even a bird can shatter his ambush. Another reminder that in the jungle, the hunter is never fully in control. At the edge of the wetlands, turtles bask in the sun. Their shells are armor against most predators, but not against the jaguar. With jaws like steel traps, it bites through the shell as though it were paper. For the turtle, there's no defense. For the jaguar, it is another victory. Another example of how no creature here is safe. But in the rivers of the Pantanal, the jaguar sometimes meets a rival just as dangerous. The green anaconda, a serpent that can grow over 20 feet long, thick as a man's torso, strong enough to crush bones. The two predators share the same hunting grounds. Sometimes they avoid each other, but sometimes they clash. A ripple breaks the surface. The jaguar pounces, only to meet coils rising from the depths. The water churns, cat and snake twisting in combat. But the jaguar's jaws are too strong. A single skull-crushing bite ends the fight. The anaconda's reign is over. Even the serpent king of the swamp cannot match the jaguar. Pecaris may look like harmless forest pigs. They are anything but defenseless. Armed with sharp tusks and numbers, they can turn the tables on predators. The jaguar stalks a herd too closely this time. Suddenly, the pecaris wheel around, snapping jaws clacking, the herd surging forward in a wave. For a moment, the hunter becomes the hunted. The jaguar leaps into a tree, snarling as the furious herd passes below. This time, brute strength isn't enough. Even kings must retreat when the odds turn. Unlike most cats, the jaguar loves water. It swims rivers, dives beneath the surface, even stalks fish and turtles in the shallows. At dusk, giant river otters patrol the banks. But even those ferocious hunters give way when they sense the jaguar nearby. Every creature here knows the truth. Where there is water, there may be death. Because the jaguar hunts not just on land, but in a kingdom of rivers. What makes the jaguar so different? Why does this one cat strike fear in creatures as small as monkeys, as large as crocodiles? It isn't speed. It isn't endurance. It's power. A jaw that can shatter skulls. A mind that waits for the perfect moment. A body built for ambush, not pursuit. This is why the jaguar reigns supreme. Not the biggest, not the fastest, but the most decisive. As the sun sets, the Pantanal changes. Bats swarm, frogs sing, shadows stretch. Jaguar awakens. Golden eyes glow in the darkness. Every sound, every movement, every breath of prey, Jaguar hears it all. The night belongs to him. Every night, the hunt begins again. Sometimes he feasts. Sometimes he fails. But the rhythm never ends. Eat, sleep, patrol, hunt. The eternal cycle of the jaguar. The lion may rule the savanna. The tiger may dominate the forests of Asia. But here, in the steaming wetlands of South America, there's only one supreme predator. The jaguar. The shadow in the reeds. The skull crusher. The crocodile killer. A solitary king whose throne is carved not from gold, but from silence, fear, and the blood of his prey. In this world of shadows, one thing is eternal. The hunt never ends.